interested. It's a hard one to test, but we have to go out and try it. And hopefully when somebody experiences that, it will be available for people to see. I would assume what we would do is we would sense the flat tire, perhaps, and pull over to the side of the road, or maybe there's no response for it. Maybe the car tries to continue with the failed hardware. That would be interesting. Tires don't really blow out that much these days, so I think we're okay, but we don't know what happens. Another thing is the steering, the EPS motor, the electric power steering motor. On a normal passenger car, there's one motor and one drive belt that drives the pinion, or drives the rack, drives the steering. And if that belt were to break, you don't have steering. The backup is your steering column that's attached to the rack and pinion that steers the front of the car. So if you're not sitting in this seat and that belt breaks, you can't use the steering wheel, which means you'll drive in a straight line until you hit whatever it goes, whatever it's heading at. So that's not ideal either. It's my impression, or my knowledge, that people that were down in Austin were photographing the Cybercab line, and the Cybercab has dual EPS motors for steering, which is what you would expect on a commercial cab with no driver in it. You would want to have a backup system in case the Kevlar belt for the EPS motor fails. That's an issue with using our cars as part of the network for Cybercabs, is that we only have one EPS motor. And I don't know that you want to use that for routine issues, but maybe a high demand Cybercab thing, where we just need some cars. I don't know how all that's going to work. But I think there's an issue with using private owners' cars for Cybercabs, based on that one EPS motor, for instance. There may be other issues. Anyway, I just picked 5 random spots, or let Grok do it. Not sure where we're heading, but that makes it more interesting for the video. I'm also understanding that some people think that by having both of your hands occupied, that there's a warning that comes up. Well, both of my hands are occupied, and there's no warning, and there wasn't for him either, so I don't know. We'll see. We have workers on the car right here. We're slowing down a little bit for them, and we deferred to their location just a bit in the lane. But we're doing 42 now and a 45, and that's comfortable and when it's standard. And once again, in case you didn't check, we're on version 14.2.2.2, which I'm assuming that in time, hopefully in the next quarter or two, Tesla starts implementing what is more of a standard working version that people don't want to update all the time. And when you get to a point to where it's predictable, 13.2.9 was pretty close to that without the parking at end-to-end parking. But since that's there now, although we're gonna, I don't know. You're doing okay. Do the best you can. You're working obviously very, very hard through the holiday season. Thanks for doing that. You're really doing something special. So where are we going? It looks like the villas at Brighton. I need glasses to read the screen. The villas at Prairie Center. Okay, so that's down by the stores down here. Lots of traffic, good deference to four-way stop. No conflict at all. I will go down to chill here because I don't like to go through Lochbuie faster than the speed limit. Wish there was an indicator light on the front of this camera. I have to look down here and make sure it's still running, or at least the light's on. And you really don't need me, but I find it gives a fuller perspective of what's going on around the car, having a cabin cam. And also I hope to have people in the car riding along too that are part of the video, so that's why I'm doing it this way. Of course, I take any suggestions down in the comments if you want to leave any. And of course, if you can subscribe, that helps. Everybody does all that. But I think this is a pretty popular topic right now, so I don't have to worry about traffic. If people are interested in me and this content and this particular situation, then we'll find each other. This is Lochbuie, a small mobile home park. It was originally 50, 70 years ago, whenever it was created here. It's since expanded. It has stick-built homes all around it, and it's a quaint little community. But its origin, it was originally called Space City, from what I understand, back in the 60s or so, or 50s, whenever it was put in. Traffic to our left. I would go. Looks good. This is the first time she didn't signal to get in this lane. That's interesting. Of course, we signaled at the turn, but it was always signaling to come over to this right lane from that stop sign, and it wasn't necessary, especially with nobody behind us, but it was her way. We'll see what she does in the future. This is an odd three-way stop that was just put in, and Hardware 4 seems to take it just fine now. Hardware 3 last week didn't stop correctly. But frankly, my 21Y is in use right now, so I can't use it. My wife sure loves it, and she uses FSD all the time in it. Even on Hardware 3, it really gives you peace of mind that better eyes are watching the road, that I don't have to be so cognizant of everything that's going on all the time. And I'm not that cognizant of it. I do okay. I haven't had an accident in 50 years, but okay, we're accelerating up to the highway. It's a 75-mile-an-hour speed limit on the highway. I will go back into standard now. I was in chill. That's why we didn't accelerate, I think. I'm not sure where we're going. It should be close. She said it was in 10 minutes of us, so I think it's over in these homes somewhere. We're going one stop down the freeway. We're in standard now, going down the freeway at 75. It's a 75-mile-an-hour speed limit here. Traffic looks good. Lane changes seem crisp and no hesitation. We'll see what happens when there's a little traffic in the other lane now. Okay, looks like we're getting off here in 2 miles. But there was no hesitation with getting back in the right lane either. That was comfortable. Plenty of clearance. We'll see if we see more cars up here to increase the traffic. Sun's coming from about 20 degrees, 25 degrees up, 30 from the horizon. And it's in our left quarter right now, not in my eyes at all, so that's comfortable. Another 1.5 miles we'll be getting off. This is Interstate Highway 76 in from the northeast corner of Colorado, heading down to Denver. We're outside of the city of Brighton right now, doing 76 miles an hour on Highway 76. Have traffic merging onto the highway here. I don't think they're any factor for us. And we're going to come into this section, so shouldn't be any problem. The sun's pretty low in the sky these days. It's December 30th. Today. Yeah, no hesitation there. That was a good distance. Perfect pass, perfect remerge. Okay, we should be getting off on this off-ramp. This is it's called the Eagle Center in Brighton. It's just a big shopping center with everything you would imagine here. Again, I'm not sure where she scheduled me to go, but we'll see where we're heading. It's one of the beauties in a town that you're not familiar with. You really don't have to know where to go. It really makes it pleasant on road trips, highway stops where you're not sure where the charger is. FSD does. And it knows how full it is and what stalls are open and all that other stuff. Okay, looks like we're going to head up straight here for a while. Oh, okay, over in these tract homes here. Sure, a lot of ICE cars still on the road. I was so surprised, well, not surprised, but I guess I was surprised to see so many Teslas in California when we took our road trip from Denver to Sacramento, San Francisco, and then down to Cypress, Los Angeles area. And then we drove back down through Arizona and back up through Colorado on I-25. Got a green light now, and the guy's pausing for a bit. It is a thought that FSD should toot on the horn now and then. That's probably something in the future they could have a polite tap. I don't know. I didn't honk, and he went, and it was fine. Oh, here's some behavior to move out of the way of an icy spot on the road, and it was rather quick. That's it. It's not bad. There's no traffic around. There was no issues at all, but the response to it was quick enough to get my attention. So yeah, that one as well. It was just kind of okay, I can get back over, and it was more than easy. It was a response to yeah, she wanted to go over for this one too, but there was traffic behind us, I think. Okay, that's certainly active response to road, to ice on the road, basically. It was black ice. Now, it wouldn't have been a problem we weren't turning, but trying to avoid black ice, I guess that's a thing. See if we can find more of it. It's a perfect day to see it in shadowed areas on the road. I'm not sure where we're going, but we're going right there, wherever it is. Okay, we're coming up close to it. I'm not sure where she's going to end up. Maybe parking up here. This is the destination, so we'll see where she ends up parking. I think we'll be backing in here. Yeah. A little bright with the sunshine behind us. It looks well centered. Perfectly between the lines, or within an inch or so. Looks very good. Okay, and we finished that leg of the trip. Let's go ahead to the next one. Pretty good parking job. I think that's what they've been training a lot on, is parking. It's just a matter of showing the car what you need it to do a billion times. And once it's seen it, it's like my teenagers. If you show them 1 billion times, even a teenager can learn how to drive. Okay, we look clear all over, I would go. And so would she. Okay, where are we heading? I don't know. Boy, it's sure quiet in a Tesla. I can hear a dog barking out there, but it's very faint. Okay, we're kind of easing out. We got traffic turning left across the street in an oncoming car. But this clears up now. And we would go. Here's that slush on the road. She doesn't care about it here. We're not going fast, so. See if we see any more icy patches on the road. That's what it is. The response to avoid a pothole is appropriate, I think. It's quick, but it's not dangerous, and I certainly haven't experienced anything that would make me uncomfortable. But it did get my attention when you get a rather, not abrupt, but I wish I could think of the proper word. You've probably thought of it 3 times by now. Something less than abrupt, sharp. It's not sharp or abrupt, it's decisive. That would probably be a decisive turn away from a pothole. And when that occurs while you're looking out at something else, it grabs your attention. Which is what it should do. I suppose if you weren't supervising, you might open an eye and go, oh, okay. So we're turning left here. Okay, we've got a green light. When you're supervising, you really need to make sure that she's doing it right, but she does it right so often. Now, that wasn't necessarily right going into the far right lane. I would generally turn into the lane that I left from, because I think that's the proper way to drive. So if you turn from the right lane on a left turn, you come into the right lane, but you don't go directly to the right lane from turning in the left lane. You go to the left lane first, signal, then go to the right lane. But I see from watching other FSD videos, but it's common for people to go wherever they want and not necessarily do that. Perhaps it's a bit pedantic, but I'm 70 and I drive the way I drive, and I'm probably not going to change it much. And for all that matter, I drive pretty safely. My dad, who was an airline pilot, taught me to drive, and I taught all my kids to drive. And they do pretty well too. But they don't do as well as this. They don't do as well as 100% of the time watching at in milliseconds, fractions of a second, tiny fractions of a second faster is what it operates in. So much faster than what I can do. Yep, it's pretty reassuring. Now, I suppose what has happened with everybody with these for the last 5 years is that everybody had to intervene. So it keeps you on your toes. But when you don't have to intervene, it relaxes you, and that's kind of a safety issue. You can't do anything about it other than be reminded that it's still supervised. So, and frankly, if you're sitting here, you might as well supervise anyway. Because if something happens like traction issues or something that it's not trained on, that it doesn't react properly on, then you should know about it. So I just had a video change on this camera, and there's a slight chirp that happens. Excuse me. So it reassures me that it's running. I can look at the other camera and make sure that it's running, but yeah, it is. And I hate to explain that each time, but I don't have power running to the cameras right now, so I probably only have an hour of record time. But this should go relatively easy. It should run okay. A little bit of hesitation, but a little bit of concern about the deviation in the road. It was a pretty weird patch job. You can see her being concerned. It does look like the concern for potholes or road debris, that sort of things. I'm going to go up to her, see if she handles roundabouts a little more aggressively. That was a little more aggressively. She had to pull in front of that person. That's interesting. But if I leave it in hurry now, it's going to do 5-8 over in residential areas, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go back down to standard. I believe, and I think what people are seeing is that the different drive profiles, the standard, chill, hurry, also affect behaviors and aggressiveness, lane changing behaviors, but perhaps it affects aggressiveness in roundabouts too. I'll go ahead up to Mad Max on this next roundabout before it comes up, and we'll see what it does. And late enough to where I need to be slowing down, and Mad Max is not going to take us up to 70 miles an hour. And we'll see if we get a little better behavior in the roundabouts. But yeah, if that's an issue in the early releases of 14, for me, she's been a little timid with pulling into traffic, with pulling into what are clear situations, or at least situations that I and my conservative driving would deem acceptable to pull out. So I think what they're going to do is just keep training it lightly to bring it up to a nice level that satisfies an old guy. Okay, this is not a roundabout, so we'll leave it in standard for this two-way stop. I suppose this would affect her desire to pull out. There is a blind pull out here, which makes it interesting to pull directly across, because this is a bridge that goes over the interstate, and it's sloped up, so you really can't see cars coming from the other direction until they're heading at you. So it looks, there he is. So you just don't want to dawdle right there. And the roundabout's coming up to the next intersection up here. This is a road that was full of potholes. It's now full of asphalt-filled potholes, but we'll see how it does. We're in standard. She's doing a 41. Oh, I guess she's slowing down because this must have been one of the places she picked to go. I've never been in here. We'll see what kind of residential area this is. And I might have rolled through if we kept up, but again, the deference is for safety, and FSD will wait generally at this point with this version. I've never had her to be unsafe. I started driving FSD on version 12, 12.1 or so. Might have been an early version 12. I only drove it this was back in November of 2024, and it wasn't on hardware 3. It really wasn't something that I wanted to drive around on or pay for, and I went for 8 or 9 months without it. When we did finally do our road trip to California, after about 8 or 9 months of owning it, we started paying for FSD every month and haven't turned it off since then with hardware 3. My wife enjoys it and knows how to use it correctly now and knows its limitations. So it's functional for her. She's not handicapped at all. She just likes it for the extra eyes and the extra safety that it provides. And it does do that. Okay, we're doing 34 and a 35. We're in standard mode. I guess it's fine. I'm really not watching it, but I do check in every once in a while and make sure things are going well. Looks like our destination is up here close, so we'll probably arrive there soon. We'll see what kind of thing she sent us to. One thing's true about this, she's never been to or FSD has never been to any of these destinations either, because these were just random things I told her to drive me to. And I hope that doesn't bother you too much. I've anthropomorphized my FSD and car to where I think it's a female. It's not. I'm well aware of that. But I call her a she. I didn't name her a she. I named her White Lightning. Well, no, that's the other one. This one's Silver Bullet. But I call her a she because, well, the navigation. That's probably not fair. Oh, a little bit of slippery over that icy spot. So I can see why she might want to avoid that on a shade-covered area. That's the kind of input that she would be aware of, that there's ice on the road, even when it's warm out. Okay, this must have been the location she picked. Yep, there's our spot. This is sort of pulled in. Oh, she's parking here. Okay. We're right in this person's driveway now, so it's kind of a, yeah, we're out of their driveway and we're by the, yeah, that's a good, I would say that's acceptable. Sounds good. Let's move on. Okay, we'll make a left out of here, she says. Oh, no, we'll make a left up here, she says. I'm the red dot. That's the intersection. The red arrow. These here. Okay. Unprotected left. There wasn't really a pullout there. There was, he decided to turn, so we deferred to him turning in front of us. He was here before us, I believe. So that was what you would expect. Wonder if I have a cord over here. It's one thing you can do while you're driving. Put in the power cord. It's running there, and it's running there, so we're okay. So we're doing 38 now on a 35 in standard. Being approached by a car that wants to do more than that. He's doing about 45 now. But that's what the speed limit is here in town. Yeah, now we're doing slower than that. So that's in standard. She's doing under the speed limit. I'm going to speed up a little bit here and go to hurry. And now drop it back down to standard and see if she'll stay above the speed limit but not make this guy behind me mad. So yeah, you want to be polite. Once again, I don't know where we're going, so that was a fine signal. And we'll see. Okay, and that's the way I like to turn left. Turn into the lane, signal to get over to the next lane, and signal to move around. People don't signal near as much as they used to. I think that's largely because traffic is not policed like it used to be as well. People are emboldened to speed, and they don't think about their signals, and it's just it's a little more dangerous out than it used to be. So if you think about it, your signals aren't really for you. They're to inform other people around you what you're intending on doing, what you have done. It's just a small issue that you do it before you do it, not as you're doing it. But I don't care. I watch out for you, and my car watches out for you, so that's okay too. Where are we going? Hey Grok, tell me a little about where we're going.
First stop's Brighton Crossing by D.R. Horton. New homes about 1.6 miles away. Next up, Ridgeline Vista by Risewell Homes, with modern townhomes, then Thane Apartments. All nice suburban spots in Brighton.
Well, that's what I asked her to do, so. Now notice too that issue with Grok and navigation. It was one request for 5 stops adding to the navigation, and I had to ask her again if she had done that, but they all went in, and I haven't done anything since then. So it obviously works to do multiple destinations, but there is a problem when you start asking her to remove and add things on the fly, that sometimes she doesn't get it updated and put into the navigation correctly. I'm sure that'll get worked out. How many cars today can you talk natural language to and have them take you wherever you ask them to take you without driving? So, yeah, there is that. Oh, here we are. Now, it is parking lot. I'm not sure what she's going to do. Looks acceptable. This is a new home lot, model home area. Let's move on to the next one. Certainly acceptable without knowing what the situation looks like. There was a concern about how far she's backing up, and I would say that was a good 1.5 foot clearance of that car. So when she pulls out from curbs, that she wasn't backing up, and she was making people nervous with the clearance on the front of the car, but that seemed to be acceptable. And once again, this is on version 14.2.2.2. 3 2s. A little bit of a steering wheel hesitation on that roundabout. So it looks like I didn't see where the navigation had taken us to, but it looks like she's immediately navigating to a U-turn here. So I think that was probably an errant turn on the navigation. And you can see her trying to figure out how to get out of here now. So this is an issue with version 14.2 build. And maybe they'll get it in a 0.3 update. But the issue is the navigation. The FSD won't always follow the navigation. And it's beneficial at times, and it's just a pain in the neck at other times. There was no reason to go down this. I think. Let me backtrack a little bit. Let me look at what she's doing. No, she's taking us back out. So she is just trying to get out of this neighborhood. We're heading way down here, and we are way up here. So there's no need to be going all this where we're going. But it is a nice drive through the neighborhood. Certainly not unsafe. It's just not where we wanted to go. We do have some ice in the road here too. Let's see what she does with these ice patches. Oh, just water. Okay, nothing. No concern for that one. And there's really not. The car's not going to do anything. If you slammed on the brakes here, that tire would skid. But other than that, now this is a different roundabout. But she has us going to the first right. See if we take it. Okay, and we're scheduled to go straight through this roundabout. Let's see if she does it. That's the one she messed up on before. Yep, okay. There was no hesitation that time. I'm not sure why I did that. But that very well could be that same issue that they need to train on. It's just roundabout exits. Because I've seen that 3 or 4 times on version 14 since version 14, that it'll be a roundabout exit and there'll be an indecision just on whether she should take that or not, and 2 or 3 steering wheel bumps. Okay, we've got an arrow and a green light, oncoming cars both sides, but the intersection is clear. We turned into the proper lane, I'll say. The correct lane. I'm really not sure in Colorado if that's a law or not, that you have to turn into the lane that you departed from. And I don't trust Grok to give me correct information on looking up current laws, because she fibs sometimes. Okay, where are we going now? Hey Grok, where are you taking where are you taking me now?
First to Ridgeline Vista by Risewell Homes, on Lost Lake Street in Brighton, about 3 minutes away. Then to Thane on North 42nd Avenue, 6 minutes total.
Hey Grok, tell me, in Colorado today, is there any law, traffic law, that says you have to, when making a left turn, that you turn into the left lane of the receiving road? Can you look that up?
Yes, Colorado law in CRS 42-4-901 says whenever practicable, make a left turn to the left of the intersection center, ending in the extreme left-hand lane available on the receiving road. You must also approach from the leftmost lane, lawfully available.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. You sure about that, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's
straight from Colorado.
What was the number of the law that you read?
It's Colorado Revised Statutes, Section 42-4-901.
Thanks. Okay, there's your answer. And then also a use case for Grok in the car. We've used it for other things. It's nice when you're driving by something you're not aware of, or you ask her questions about the history. We were driving up to Boulder, and I was wondering about the history of the Boulder Turnpike. Turns out that was a toll road at one time. And it was just interesting history, and Grok was able to fill me all in about it. My wife was riding along at the time. So, yeah, having an LLM in your car, a large language model, is a beneficial thing. You know, you always had it on your cell phone. You could get your cell phone out and open up any LLM that you wanted, any model that you wanted, and it would do it for you. But having it part of the car and able to direct the car is just ridiculous. It's ridiculously cool. So we're doing 34 and a 35 right now on standard. Certainly acceptable. Yeah, these are all new residential areas that have been built in Brighton in the last 5-10 years. Oh, I guess we're going, yeah. I didn't see which way we were going, so she's been signaling promptly the whole time. Well, that's very slow, very gentle slowdown on that ice. That was interesting. A little bit of slippage on start there, so she knows it's out. She knows it's slippery. Oh, she picked. Oh, interesting. Where are you going? Okay, well, I guess that'll do. Let's get out of here. I don't think that's a parking spot. It is a driveway, but it's a driveway in the model homes. I don't think people normally pull up on it. It is a sloped sidewalk too, but not necessarily one that you would pull off on. Yeah, that is a driveway, so it's okay. And I'll call that a pass, but I probably wouldn't have pulled up there myself. Certainly safe. Okay, where are we going now? Oh, the other side of town. Oh, okay. Some tract homes down here. Looks good. Brighton was always a sleepy little town. It's grown up quite a bit over the last 20, 30 years that we've lived here. Another unprotected left. Traffic's only doing 30, well, they're doing 45, but it's that 35-mile-an-hour road that we came in on. They don't always follow that. Okay. Traffic to our right, traffic to our left. Usually you'd be rubbernecking in a situation like this, looking left and right and making sure and picking your spot. And it's kind of relaxing just to sit here and not worry about it. I usually give me a quick glance just to make sure she's not. Yeah, it's opening up here soon. I would go in just a second. Yeah, there we go. But that was the first opportunity. There wasn't really any sooner opportunity than that, so I don't mind. So we're going to another, these are just huge homes. Tri-levels are at least 2 stories, and I think they all have basements too. Pretty big. Just close together. And I suppose as tract homes go, they're not that all close together either. As I've seen some. This is an interesting road closure. Has been that way for quite some time. We turn into opposing traffic over here. And FSD's always done this fine. At first, with Hardware 3, I was a little concerned at first without a car following, and there went a Cybertruck. Not a whole lot of Cybertrucks out here in Brighton, but I have seen 4 or 5, I think. See, the human drivers like to sneak in, make a point of it sometimes. I like some of the commentaries. I'm not getting in, but some of the other more popular channels are getting commentaries from people saying, no, let it go, see what FSD does. I would probably stop it too, because it's reactions. You're reacting to a situation on the road. You can't stop yourself from reacting in a dangerous situation. So I don't worry about it, and I'm not going to let it do something that's going to hurt it if I can possibly stop it. But in my experience over the last several months, it doesn't do that. So, we'll see. Doing 40 in a 35 now. Narrows down to 1 lane, so this truck wanted to get in front of us. Yeah, we're in a 35 doing 40. And people this used to be a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit, so people routinely break that. They sort of accept anybody driving anything in here, but I think they would prefer, I don't know, I don't care. I don't care what he drives as long as it gets me there safely and doesn't annoy other people. There was a car directly on my right at that time, and I noticed there was a truncation or an abbreviation of the right-hand swing prior to the left turn. There was really no swing to the right prior to that turn, so that's probably typical human behavior for people that do that anyway. It's interesting to watch the car drive because it's an amalgamation of all the good drivers that Tesla's been able to capture through the years and the current good drivers. So when it does something, especially that behavior, because it's something I've actively tried not to do, as something in my life is something that's not necessary. So I'm not sure what to do there. Maybe I'll ask Grok how to drive. But it's that, let me know in the comments if you do that. Do you turn right just a little bit prior to turning left? In motion? Not from a stop like this, but prior to left turns or even right turns. The car will turn a little bit to the left prior to that. I'm not sure what to call that, but I've seen people do it my whole life, but I've never had the desire or the need to do that. Can somebody explain to me in the comments why you do it? If you does it keep your rims away from the curbs? Is that why? To keep away curb rash? I don't know. Makes sense, but I learn something new every day, and you can help me learn something new. Okay. Okay, there was no left turn there. No left in the right turn. And it usually doesn't happen unless we got a little bit of speed up. But slow residential things like this, it doesn't. But it will do it at every time at my turn at turns when you're going 10 or 15 miles an hour or over that. Okay, I'm signaling to the right, which helped this person, but he was not going to believe me. Nobody signals to get out of a roundabout. A little bit. I tried to wash my window, but the sun really... Okay, here we are at our location. We're probably going to take something and a back in. Yeah. Looks good. Good lineup. And a perfect parking job. That's well centered. Well centered between the lines. Looks good. I don't think we have a destination. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll start self-driving and see where she goes. Without a destination. This is a little icy here. It's in the shade. There's a lot of ice. She's keeping one wheel off of it, which is probably good. I don't know that this is a way out, but there was a car in front of us and it wasn't moving. And honestly, I don't know that she'll find a way out, or she's even trying to find a way out. She may just give up and park. Yeah, I'd probably go that way too. There may be a way out that way. Very icy here. Oh, we're turning back in. There's the car we've tried to go around before, and now what are you going to do? Okay, well, she pulled up a little bit and let us go. But FSD is just going to pull back in here again. So I'm afraid she's just going around in circles. So I'll go ahead and put a destination in and see if that'll help. Well, here, I'll just tell her to take me home. Now she has a destination. See where she heads. And let's go ahead and, yeah, she's trying to the left now. That's good.
Sounds good. She's handling the turn smoothly. Anything else on the route?
No, that's fine, thanks. I always forget I leave her on. So, here we go. She should be able to be happy with seeing that stop sign. That means a road, doesn't it? We'll see how version 14 gets me back. Previous versions would take me through a route that requires to drive through a dirt road, but I don't want to take, especially today, because it's muddy and gross and dirty and slippery and a mess. But I can't deselect it. Immediate right, so she got directly over here into this right lane, and it was appropriate. All clear all over, I would go. We're in standard now, going through the neighborhood. 25-mile-an-hour speed limit here. We're doing 30, which is appropriate for here. This is not a residential road, but it's the main road through a residential area. Yeah, she's gonna take the place the way that takes her to the dirt road, and I'll override it if need be. This is a paved road that comes to a point where you have to take a 2-mile dirt road to get home, and I don't want to do that. But we'll peek out here. It looks like good creeping behavior. No hesitation, but a good creep. Okay, looks clear. I would go. Should turn right up here. Beautiful snow-covered mountains in the foreground or the background there. Yeah, it's hard to explain to people what AI is. As I was saying earlier in the drive, that people tend to have the information that they had at the time that they learned it, and that's what they think about electric cars and Tesla and FSD and everything. Is if they've learned something 5 years ago and not done any research since then, that's what they believe that it's still there. It's not. Everything has changed dramatically. Battery life is spectacular. It's very good. FSD is spectacular. It's ridiculously good. And what I was trying to say, it's hard to communicate to people how unlike computers it really is. It is a computer, but it's not a computer. It's using AI to do this. Like Elon always says, it's pixels to controls. And it's directly that. There's no code. There's no if-then-else statements going on. No conditional programming. It's, oh good. This is the dirt road, and she's choosing to go. See, the navigation says go straight, but FSD is turning to the right because that's the correct way to go. Which I like this behavior in her. But I don't like it when she turns and doesn't follow the navigation and goes into a random residential area and drives around in circles. So, yeah. Again, the use, I'm not trying to say FSD is perfect. It's not. It's very, very good. But there are some issues. What I'm saying, it's practical to use it. I'm paying for it on 2 cars every month. Not because I have any vested interest in it. It costs me money to do that. I do it because I feel safer. I think I am safer, and I can prove it. But you do you. I can see a point, though, when enough people understand how this is working. Here we have we're doing 57 and a 55. We're doing 56 and a 55 with 2 policemen here. We're doing 55 and a 55. It's funny. I think FSD slowed down. Well, it was slowing down because of the cars on the road. I'll go down to the chill, though. I don't need to get their attention at all. Slow down because they're cars, not police. Although, probably knows what police look like. This is one of those common speed traps that where they will wait out here, which is why I don't speed on our roads. But frankly, policing has taken the back seat over the last 10 years to where you don't see policemen hiding behind signs very much trying to catch speeders. I wish there was more of it because people drive dangerously these days, routinely at 85, 90 miles an hour on the interstate. I drive in the right lane, stay out of their way. Okay, I'm going to go back to standard because that's where I just normally always drive in. But that's a situation where you don't want to go 5 or 6 over. It's not prudent.